Thanks to all our active patrons who have contributed a lifetime of $100 or more to reach Garoop Dong level status.
Here is the list of those special patrons in order of contributions.
If you would like to support our show, check out the Commander Smiths at patreon.com. Ooh, welcome to 5 years of the Commander Smiths.
You changed the words. I don't, what am I?
We are the Commander Smiths.
What am I supposed to say? we are the Commander Smiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
The funny thing is, I was like, oh no, I like immediately looked down. I'm like, all right, what did I miss? What is he muted? Does he not hear me? What the fuck is going on? Yeah, so 5 years of Commander
5 whole
Sim.
years.
2 episodes. Oh, Josh, I saw you on the chat and I was like, oh no, we're gonna start it with Malort. Thanks,
Appreciate
buddy.
you, Josh. Hashtag Team Force Walk.
Hashtag
Team Force Walk.
Get out of here. Get out of here. 5 years of the Commander Smiths. We're gonna start it off with a Malort shot from Josh. Josh,
right now?
I have your Malort bottle ready to go here. We had a cold spell there, and now I just need to figure out the shipping wise, and you're gonna be taking these shots with us at some point. And I hope you make it to SmithCon, by the way. I don't know if you're going to, but it'd be really sweet if somehow you could manage that. We got a big crew going there. But episode 260. I'm looking for my shot glass, Houston.
Uh-oh. I have run out of my bottle, and I have...
No.
You don't have a shot glass?
5 years
to take pulls.
Commander Smith. Oh, no.
Right.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, no. I didn't think because we didn't take a shot for battle boxes. Where the fuck is it?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I lost. That's right. I did take a shot. Damn it.
You don't just leave it there?
Well, not the same one. I clean it, man. Oh.
I haven't cleaned mine since the last time I said I cleaned it, which was probably December.
Gross. All right. Well, I guess I'm going straight.
It's just alcohol.
I'm going straight. Yeah, I guess it is Malort.
I want to see you swish it around in your mouth.
No.
I want it to like bulge out in your cheek and go like talk like a chickmunk.
Chickamunk? It's not a chipmunk. It's a chickmunk. All right, thanks.
Chickmunk.
Cheers. This big
Cheers,
ass
Josh.
fucking bottle. All right, here we go.
And thanks to everybody that listen, contribute, hang out.
We got a treat for you guys too. We're gonna go to episode 1.
I don't know what's gonna be more bitter.
Oh, that might have been more. That might have been
really
more. Ugh.
All right. Well.
All right. Ugh. Okay. So episode.
Take a week off.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Episode
right,
260.
Yeah.
5 years
Josh
of the Commander
is on
Smiths.
a family vacation.
Well, thanks, buddy. We are going to be actually. I got some stuff here. So I went back. Probably the first time since I edited our audio from the first one, then posted our podcast and listened to our podcast. I gotta warn you, it's brutal. But just so you guys know, this is how our podcast started. You ready?
Okay.
Better lose yourself in the Commander Smith. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. Whoa, you only get one card. Do not miss your chance to blow. The opportunity comes only once in a game time, yo.
I got that. Nice Eminem.
So that's what we used to do when we used to sing a lot before every podcast. That was the most stressful part of doing the podcast, was thinking of getting the songs. It wasn't getting the segments ready. It was figuring out words to relate to magic of songs and have us each try to guess it. I was so glad when we stopped doing that, but yeah. So
our audio was it sounds like how people used to like. Have you ever seen like old clips of like
radio
basketball games from the 70s
Yeah.
and 80s?
And
That's how we sound.
He's passing
like
the ball.
it's like we know that's what it doesn't. It doesn't look like that, but it's grainy as shit. And and it's improved since then.
By the way, just in case you guys are listening, you're like, are they just going to play old stuff the whole episode? No, we're doing our top 10 commander cards. We have a little kind of secret layer thing sprinkled in there. And if we have time, we'll get staple verses. If we don't, we'll get that next week because of this reminiscing stuff. But so beginning, instead of us just chatting and stuff like that. Oh, and we do have Stump the Smith Savant as well. Speaking of Stump the Smith Savant, this is where that started. So here, well, not started, but here's where we kind of talked about it here.
But a lot of them are named, and we're going to probably butcher them.
Oh, yeah.
And so,
especially me. Lowry's the word Smith with this. So a lot of times I'll just say, hey, what is this card that does all this? I can tell you exactly what it all does. And then Lowry's like, oh, yeah, that's so-and-so and so-and-so. Actually, there's a story with Lowry with that. He went on a road trip with some friends, and they were able to read the flavor text of the card, and Lowry could name the card.
Nerd. I think I said that afterwards. I was like, nerd.
I'm sure you did.
That was years. Like, we didn't come up with Stump the Smith Savant until what? It's been going for
later.
2 years at this point, or 2 or 3 years.
Probably
at giveaway wise,
over a year and a half to 2 years.
Yeah. So
I want to say we started in like late spring, midsummer.
Yeah. And that's actually was because I brought up that story, I think, on the podcast another time. And then my brother, Joe, was like, you should do something with Lowry and something like just testing him. And then that's where it kind of, I was like, all right, we're going to try this, Lowry. We've workshopped it, and I think we fine-tuned this bad boy, and it's Stumping the Smith.
It's working.
Yeah, it's good.
It's working.
Okay, a couple more. I don't want to do too much stuff. What our cast was about. Do we want to talk about that, or how? I have 6 total buttons. Let me hit this one really quick.
Anyways, this episode basically what our episodes are going to be about, what our podcast is going to be about. We'll be generally talking about Commander, EDH.
It's so blowing
some other things. What are we deck ideas?
You can hear how
we
nervous
we
are.
Speculating on cards. We want to talk about new cards because who doesn't want to talk about new cards? Because most part, like fun part of everything, and we want to do potentially like expand it in the future into like building decks and showing you guys the ideas that we have, maybe even starting to play Commander and kind of videoing it and throwing it up on YouTube to watch other people watch.
It took 4 years.
I love that part though. To watch other people watch. I'm like, what? That's a little creepy there. You're gonna watch other people watch us. No, but it's kind of crazy.
Johnny's.
Because our big goal from day one was to do where we're at now with the YouTube stuff. Because we didn't do YouTube until about 3 years ago. So it's or 2 years ago? No, that's 2 years now. Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
So
strong 2.
So of our first podcast, we hit the goals of what we wanted to do with all that. And then I said Commander Evolve. I forgot what this one. So I have this one, and then I have me talking about mana, and then you drinking and all that stuff. Okay, really quick, this one.
And to talk about like just the first Commander product that they put out, which had like
Gabe,
Guru of Spores,
where we
Kalia
were with
Vast.
what decks came out.
That product was amazing when it comes to what Wizards pre-made products come out. It was far and away the best stuff that they've ever put out when it comes to pre-constructed stuff.
Well, and then each year it just gets better and better.
Yeah, it just...
Which is true.
I mean,
well made.
This last 2017 Commander decks are just... You could play them right out of the box, and they're pretty dang competitive. Edgar is pretty crazy.
Edgar, Dragon's really good as well. All you got to do is replace comes into play tap lands with lands that
are good.
Yeah, that are decent. I mean,
we didn't have the build a better deck button at that point. But that's totally
we haven't changed a bit.
Yeah. The funny thing is going through all the I listened to almost the entire episode because then kind of ran out of time for our podcast. There's so many times and I've been like, well, this would have been when I would have hit, oh, good for you. And you would have gone, you kid can't even read, or build a better deck. There was like multiple buttons that would have been hit in that episode. It felt weird not having that in there.
We didn't even have a soundboard at that time until year 2.
Yeah. And then the soundboard was kind of our game changer of being able to do all that stuff.
Absolutely.
And then for those of you that hear me say mana and then you get cringed by it, here's where I kind of talked about that.
It works well though. Once you get that back, you're really good at your mana curve with everything. Like, oh, and by the way, people, I say things wrong. I say mana, and that's what I said when I was a kid. And I know it's mana, but that's just one thing. I always do that. I'm not going to change it because I know how it's supposed to be. But for me, it's just mana. It sounds good for me. So that's my little, I guess it'll be a pet peeve for other people that I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah, and
but I know I'm saying it wrong. So that's the thing.
The funny thing is right after that, that was when you would we were so encouraging of each other. You backed me up. You're like, yeah, but Wizards makes up all these words and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, but I'm still saying it wrong. True. And then you go, yeah, you are.
yeah. I was trying to be a positive light.
And then the last thing is talking about drinking and where we are with that. Now, speaking of what I'm drinking here is an unchecked hedonism. Oh, shit. Larry hit the button. I don't know.
Hedonism?
Hedonism? Thank you.
She can't even read.
It's a sticky coffee pudding, and it's from Lupulin. So it's a local.
That sounds good.
But it's 11%.
Is it
good? It is actually very tasty. But 11% with now Josh's Malort shots. I'm going to
be
die.
good night. It's going to be all right.
Or what are you drinking? Or what do you got there?
Hubbard's Cave. It is Milk of the Murder Hornet. It's a milkshake IPA.
Is that another
Imperial IPA with cherry, vanilla bean? Nah, I ran out of his stuff.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Hubbard's Cave. It's pretty chill, really low key. I don't know what the percentage on it is, but
yeah, this is a darker beer.
It's pretty low key. No, I think it's just an IPA.
Sorry,
milkshake.
Mine's a very dark.
That's a darker one,
but very flavorful.
Okay.
It's very sweet, but still the darkness is there, which I like because then Okay, so the last one. This is with drinking, and then we'll kind of move on to the show stuff.
Adam can get a little extreme.
You're drunk.
I'm not drunk. It's Coca-Cola. It's morning. It's early drunk.
Ah, dang. Yeah. Normally, Lowry will pick on me, and when he's picking on me, that's because he has a little bit too much alcohol in his system. I shouldn't say too much. He just needs a beer, and then it's like, Adam, you're my target.
Well, let's be honest. There's very rarely is there too much alcohol. Not sure, that's a real problem for me.
A real thing.
A real thing.
Yeah. Or actually, when you get to the too much, you just start giggling.
That's.
Am I there? There?
So the biggest things with the back in the day stuff is, one, we started in my basement next to the furnace, and eventually I put up the foam soundproofing stuff around. But I'd have to turn in the winter. I'd have to turn off the furnace because you could hear it on our microphones. So during that hour, which we were strictly an hour then, we'd turn off the furnace. And so if it was really cold out, by the time we get done, the house was 5 to 8 degrees cooler than it was. And then after that, when I was building my house, I was in the camper. So we went to your basement.
Came into my place, yeah.
And your basement was cold as shit.
It was very cold.
But we did kind of the same thing. I think you turned off your furnace too, because we were very paranoid about, it was those mics. Those mics picked up everything.
They got really hot.
And that's one thing, listening back, I could hear us breathing. When you're talking, I could hear me just going, it's just dude, settle down. But yeah, there was the mics we have now, the setup we have now is actually thanks to everybody for donating, for becoming a patron and all that stuff. All of this is paid for, the quality of how it sounds. I mean, we've gotten practice now of 260 episodes, but the actual sound is so much better than it was. And we're live. We didn't have any video stuff and all that stuff. So that's
and we drink now that COVID hit, we had forced us to do YouTube or just
COVID was
the internet.
COVID was honestly
game changer.
Yeah, it was a blessing in disguise for our show because we have eliminated that 2-hour drive. It's not 2 hours there, but it would be an hour there and an hour back. And then you have Minnesota winters where there'd be days where I remember when I was living in the camper, it took me an hour and 45 minutes because I'm driving to St. Cloud, which is another extra half an hour further away. And it was freaking scary.
And we generally weren't starting until like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
You'd get there at 9, but the sound checks and the echoes and
oh yeah, that you could actually hear that in that first episode. We had echoes, so it was 1.5 is what we called that episode, but you could still hear the echoes from us. Like as I'm talking or you're talking, it picked up on the other mic because we were together, it was right next to each other. So it was picking up both of us talking. And
so when that first year, I wouldn't get home until about 2 because we'd sit there for at least another hour after the cast and talk about how we can improve and stuff like that. We did that for 2 years. Now we don't care, but
now it's live and it's like, whatever, that's us. We embrace the shittiness of the
but now we can
debacles.
drink.
Right.
Now that we're not driving after the cast, we can drink. And that I think that's probably the best part of this. That's let's be honest.
Is it Malort?
I'm assuming everybody that's listening at work or driving is also drinking with us. And that's why they find us enjoyable. That's my guess. Yeah, just a guess.
That's what it is. So once again, thank you guys. 5 years. There is no signs of this letting up. I mean, we just continue to grow with all that, and really appreciate all the support, everybody, kind words, all that stuff, all the patrons, everybody. Even if you aren't a patron, the people that interact with us on YouTube and I guess Twitter over the years, and now more so it's just YouTube and all that stuff. It's been awesome. So, all right. Mushy stuff out of the way. I think I got everything out of my little notes.
That was awesome. Thanks for cutting that up.
Yeah. What? Yeah. So it hit me. I was
thanks
like,
for making those buttons.
I was like, oh, we should do a reminiscing. I mean, 5 years is kind of a cool little milestone. So, and like I said, it was weird. I was dreading listening to us, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but you can definitely hear the quality issues. And what I want in one of those buttons, I wanted you to hear, like, because we didn't script anything, but because it was an episode 1.5 where we had already done the episode and then we kind of redid it, you could tell that we each had our, like, this is what we said in the first episode. And so then we were trying to do it in the second and it just didn't hit. And so it just sounded awkward. So there was a lot of awkward, like, pauses and no laughing. And so I don't know. It was interesting. If you guys get a chance, go back to episode 1. You won't be able to catch it on YouTube because I don't think it was uploading then. We didn't have a YouTube channel at that point. But if you go on whatever, or like on any of the, however you're listening to us, Podbean is where we actually download the stuff too. But if you're on iTunes and all that stuff, you can listen to the episode 1 and cringe really bad. All right, let's move on to what we're actually doing today. So Lowry, what is today's episode? We are kind of already said it, but
okay, we have Stump the Smith Savant for sure, and then we're gonna do our top 10 cards for Commander cards.
10 Commander cards. Yeah,
you're the one that with the mouth button. And then it's and that's Phyrexia All will be 1. We're doing a top 10 from there. This one seemed a little tough in my opinion to come up with 10, which is not common, and also I really like this set.
Yeah,
so I don't know what's going on.
I think
personally
it had a lot of like top, like, good cards, but nothing that's like new. I shouldn't say nothing that's new, but like there wasn't a lot that was new to Commander cards that are out there. Like even the ones that we have picked.
It added to Poison. It did really well for Poison. It gave it some depth and some width.
Ooh.
But
can I use that?
Is that a boner joke?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a boner joke.
And then we're going to hopefully get to, I think we're barely on time track. Staple versus the 2 Vorinclexes.
Yes. This week, the Vorinclex.
This week, right? All right.
You didn't answer me when I texted you to go, hey, is it Vorinclex? But I was kind of joking.
But I was a little bit later. It was like 7 minutes later, right?
Oh, was it? Maybe I missed it. My bad.
I did get to it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're 20 minutes in. Let's get to our tags and stuff like that. So, actually, let me...
Girth.
and girth. Okay, so really quick. Let me pop us over here. Oh, I gotta remember to get these chats moving back and forth there. Okay, so you can become a patron by donating $1 or more. That gets you into the Discord that supports the show, that supports the upgrades that we have done throughout the years, like we mentioned before. Everything that you guys put towards the show, put towards us, we end up putting right back into the show somehow, some way. Lowry actually has a second camera now, so we're going to probably start doing, when we do our battle boxes, not only having a camera looking at the cards, but also looking at the person as well. So there's more and more upgrades that we keep doing, and that's because of you guys. Thank you for that. And then doing the giveaways, battle boxes, all that. It helps support all that stuff. So $1 or more, that's the way to financially support the show. Gets you in Discord games. But $5, you can get proxies. And that was one thing I did not cut up. We did talk about proxies in that first episode. It's kind of interesting because I didn't realize how, in that episode, we said we had been doing proxies for about 3 years, which I thought it was more recent than that. Like, I thought proxies started almost with when we started doing the podcast, but in that we started talking about proxies.
No, definitely not.
Well, that's how we said it. I think it's 3 years, or we said 2 years. It might've been 2 years at that point. But yeah, I thought it was super new. I thought it was like one or right at the same time as the cast, but it was a couple years before, I guess. Or you don't believe us?
I think no. I think more of you were starting to do a lot more of your own proxies.
Yeah,
I mentioned that the art for it at that point. Yeah, but I think that was much more recent because I didn't have any proxies that you had made up until the cast.
Right. No, but I meant
I was going online and finding art and
right, and that's what I did in the beginning.
Kind of
was a lot of it was the proxy guys stuff, like with that Z on there, and that's what I used for the first, I guess, year or so. But what I'm saying is, I didn't realize we had been playing with proxies for a couple years before we started the podcast, which in my head, like my timeline, which it was good to like listen back to, I've always been like, we were doing we started proxies right around the cast time, but it had already been going for a year or two at that point. So interesting. Anyways, you guys,
I'd say 2. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Semantics.
Yeah. 5 years. If you're $5 or more, you can get proxies each month if you so choose. The higher you move on the tier level, you can get foil proxies. I have no idea what I'm doing for this month. There is a couple patron suggestions, so I think I might be working on some of those. But each month there is more and more added. We have over 300 proxies you can choose from each month. So that is a big bonus there, but you're also supporting us as well. You can also support us by doing what Josh did, by donating on the live cast and make us take shots, Malort or beans, hot beans, regular beans. Hot beans are not on the cast because they are brutal, but any other place, I think it's
they are brutal.
They're worse than Malort in a way. But there's definitely ways that you guys can support us by making us also do some things that are kind of fun and all that stuff. So that is the financial way to support the show. The free way to support the show is to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. As you can see right here, we are at the 1K giveaway still. We are, I think, 70 or 60 away from hitting this, and then we start the giveaway. There is still 3 levels to be unlocked. There was a lot of people that entered this week. We were halfway to unlocking that next level. And we have 5 unlocked so far. So everybody that entered in for those other ones, you can still enter in for those ones. You just have to write a comment on the video. It is in the description. But yeah, and then there's also Josh donated and Renshai donated for the this giveaway with the Street Fighter one. Josh donated for patron only, so highly suggest $5 or more patrons by the time this giveaway starts, because there's going to be 2 big things that are given away with that. So I think that's it for YouTube for the giveaway stuff. But YouTube curated MTG is another thing we do on YouTube. And Lowry, you just hit a milestone, buddy. You went over 200 episodes or videos of curated MTG. So there's 200 cool and unique cards that are less than a minute that you guys can watch if you're ever just like, I want to see some cool and different stuff. There's 200 videos under curated MTG. What was your curated MTG, or what is your curated MTG for this week? Do you know ahead of time?
Great question.
What was your curated MTG for Saturday?
Give me a second. Let me think about Tuesday.
You know, you can lie and it doesn't
hold on. What is, so I have one that's
you had
ready
slivers.
For
you had slivers on Saturday.
That's right. I know what's tomorrow. Okay. Sorry. I was getting things mixed up. You're right. Okay. So Saturdays was Harmonic Sliver. And I was just talking about, you can put it in other decks beyond slivers, give a couple of mentions there. Tomorrow's is, or I guess Tuesdays is going to be Galectrode, which is red, blue, colorless for a creature that taps to deal 1 damage to a creature or player. And then whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it untaps. And then you can do it again. And so it's really cool. And then I add in, ideas that you could do with it.
Sweet. So yeah, biggest thing with curated MTGs, the 200. Actually, I think this one was 201. So we hit 200 as of last cast. You can watch all of those videos. They're really short. That's why they're called shorts. You can watch them
all under a minute.
You can watch them on YouTube. You can watch them on TikTok. But the biggest thing is watch them and give them a like. And that's how they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
If you have roughly 3.5 hours to spend, to just kind of kill, you can watch them all.
Did you just kind of do the math in your head really quick there?
I did. Did you hear me? Did you see me go blank face and say?
I'm not listening to what Adam's saying right now. I'm doing math.
Shut up! I'm counting.
It'd be funny if your math face is just like. Lowry's doing math again, or he's having an orgasm. They're very close.
Same thing. When I'm having an orgasm, I'm counting how many sperm I should have, and then it's still a math face.
All right. So we also have battle boxes, which we did last week, and Lowry kicked my ass once again. We did the Phyrexia All will be one, so Lowry is on a winning streak at this point.
I am.
Didn't beat me as bad as you did with the collector boost or the collector boosters from the remastered set, Dominator Remastered, but it was still it was a pretty good battle. It came down to the second to last pack. So if it could have gone one way or the other, because we had some pretty good battles there. But Lowry, no spoilers, he got a $60 card out of one pack. So
I got one of them special Elish Norn moms.
One of them special ones. Yeah, the one that should have won. Okay, so battle boxes, we have spotlight decks, we have switcheroo decks, which is all if you heard that first little audio thing where you're like, this is something we want to do, is do our deck tech stuff, and that's what we do with those videos. And then we have what card gets you hard? This week was Battle of the Mystic Remoras. So we have the new the Dominaria Remastered one. You had the OG and the Secret Lair one. I guess I do have a poll.
You do. I don't. I'm going to guess the Secret Lair Mystic Remora one. That's like a top 5 art for me. Probably number 1.
And Wrench, I got you that little present.
Yeah, and one of the best gifts I've ever gotten. Don't tell my wife. And then,
including your kids. No, I'm just kidding.
And then I'd say OG got number 2, and then Dominaria Remastered came in third, a far third.
Poll. All right, that's all.
You're going to change this.
So
I will admit that I was singing "It's Polling Time" this week.
Were you polling time?
Right. I think that's all you need.
Yeah. Okay. So you are correct, actually, with the exact order. I did add an other option on the YouTubes. That only got 4% of the vote. The remastered one got 7% of the vote, so not much there. OG, 27% of the votes, and 62%. This was one of our bigger ones, the Secret Lair one. And we, the voting keeps going up and up and up and up and up. So we keep getting more and more people. So I do count everything. So if you comment on YouTube, if you comment on TikTok, all of that gets added in. You can vote in multiple places, Discord, Twitter, all that stuff. So, so this week this might be a week I miss because we have guys weekend, Magic all weekend, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get one done before this week or not. So or play it by ear with that. But if I miss this week, it'll be next week of doing I have a list of stuff from suggestions and all that stuff. So, okay. So YouTube stuff, there's a ton of stuff on YouTube. That's what happens when you subscribe there. We got a lot of cool stuff there. You can also check us out on Twitter. That's where we post everything that we talk about and everything like that. Everything that we post with YouTube. You can direct message us there. Or you can shoot us an email by sending it to commandersmiths@gmail.com. And that's where you can send the suggestions for this. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant.
Should we take another shot? Okay. I am on to a new bottle, and this one was donated to the show from Doji himself.
My Doji bottle's
I
next.
appreciate your Doji bottle next.
All right, so if you guys don't know how this game works, I'm going to read the flavor text of a card, like we mentioned in the flashback stuff from before. Larry's going to ask yes or no questions. Every yes, he's going to hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no, he's going to hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
That's the other thing. We didn't have the booby stuff at the end of the podcast before, and that's been golden since we've had that.
I think that took us to the next level.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
Boobies did.
And you, what movie was that?
It's Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar. It's one of my favorites. All right, so I'm gonna wait, read the flavor text of cards. Yes or no questions. Blah blah blah. Okay. Larry's gonna ask that. He gets up to 5 wrong guesses before he's considered stumped. He gets up to 3 clues. If he can get everything about the card but can't get what the card is, I will give him the initials of the card. If he still has 1 clue left, he will get some really good bonus clues. That should give it away if he doesn't get it there. The card has to be in at least 10,000 EDH rec decks. I think that is it. This week's stumper is Andrew Butler, and we still have Ember Cleave on the line because this is round 17, week 3. So if Lowry does not get stumped this week, we'll add another card into the ante. If the stumper does not, if Lowry gets it, you can send us the card, and it makes it to our walls, which is over there on that picture by the other boobies there. Lowry's hand back there. So you can make the wall of shame, I guess, is what we would call it, because you didn't stump him, but you can sign it.
It's not shame. The wall of thank you for the card.
Yeah. There's lots of swear words on it. My kids like to come in and go, that says ass.
They learn some words.
The one that Jacuzzi is the one that sticks out the most because he did a proxy with Bart Simpson's butt, and it says ass, and they love seeing that one. Okay, so flavor text, but we're going to take a shot, the second shot of our Malort. Thank you, Josh. I just said Jacuzzi, so that was in my head.
Yeah.
All right, fucking swig. Here we go.
Yeah, that swig looks awful. Appreciate you, Josh.
Cheers.
Fuck.
I think I'm taking more than I should be. It's sitting in my mouth for way too long.
That's what you deserve for not having a shot glass.
Look what you did, you little jerk. Ugh. All right. I have eliminated the chat, so the chat can play along. There was something else I was going to add to that. Oh, and I didn't pre-talk to you, so we're doing an on-air production thing here.
Oh, okay.
If
5 years. Yep, 5 years.
If the chat, if somebody gets it right away, just like, oh, I know the card. Renshai is our normal culprit of that, but that's fine because he knows the cards. He knows flavor text pretty well.
He knows the shit.
It's the Stump the Smith or Stump the Renshai Savant. You can just write the initials on the chat and see if the chat can get it with you. It doesn't look like we have a ton of people on chat at the moment, but sometimes we have quite a few people and they all work together and stuff like that. If you can get it in the before the first clue, just write out the initials and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong. After that, free game, you can say it or whatever. You can choose to wait. Okay, so here we go. This one's really short, so I'll read it a couple times here. All right, here we go. And like I said, it's from Andrew Butler. It watches over every absence. It watches over every absence. I can't tell if that's a look like I know this card or this is way too short. I can't break things down.
It's a good flavor text. It doesn't give a whole lot away.
I know that's the short ones are a little tough. That's what she said.
So absent could potentially mean like being flickered or phased out. Which would put it in the white or blue. What was it again?
It watches over every absence.
So they are talking about a thing. So more than likely it's a permanent. Not something that does potentially the flickering. There are some permanents that will flicker cards. Is this a permanent type card?
Hello, boobies.
Okay. And then I'm going to guess in the realm of, is this a colorless, blue or white, and or that mixture of color identity? So just going colorless, blue or white. Is it in that range?
Hello, boobies.
Okay. It'd be funny if you were just like trying to get a hello boobies. And you're like, is it colorless, blue, white, red, green, or black?
Is it there? Get a little boobies in my ears.
2 guesses before the first clue even. All right.
Let's see here. So we know it's a permanent. We know that it's colorless, white or blue. It watches over the absent.
It watches over every absence.
Over every absence. It watches over every absence. I'll take the first clue, please.
This Seb McKinnon art features a large, creepy siren head-like being, which I know you don't know what siren head is because your kids are younger, but just it's a large, creepy being.
Siren head? Yeah, you're right. I'm not.
But the chat or people listening might know if they have kids that are like 8 years old. Siren head. It's really creepy. It's really tall. It's very lanky and skinny and just creepy.
Slender Man?
Kind of like that. Okay, that was what I was going to do as my second one, but he's bigger than Slenderman. Slenderman is a smaller being. Like,
oh, I do know what it is. I was so fucking close. All right, hold on. Is it from the set Modern Horizons?
Hello, boobies.
Shit. I thought I was getting away with it with the siren head. Damn it.
What is it called? Okay. CMC is 1, a blue, a white.
Hello, boobies.
This is the Savant.
It is a creature.
Hello, boobies.
Do you know what type?
Is it it's a spirit?
Man.
Hello,
oh, man. How?
And power toughness is 1/1.
Hello, boobies.
How is this in your brain? Like, I don't get it. Like, how is this up there? Like, I know what the card is.
I know what the card is.
I just don't know the name. Yeah.
So I'm working my way through it. So its ability is whenever, so it's kind of like a 2-parter. I'm not sure if it's in the same like
2-parter. You're fine.
Thing of text. So whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield. No, that's not true. Whenever a creature you control is put into exile, you get to put a 1/1 counter on this creature.
I'll give it to you.
Hello, boobies.
It is whenever a creature is exiled from the battlefield, put a 1/1
Any
counter.
creature?
Yeah, it's not just yours.
And then at the end of your turn, you get to blink a creature.
Hello, boobies.
Here's the hard part. The initials are S.
It's just S.
It's just S. Junie Borglund. Sorry if I killed your name. Please hit me with that button, Lowry. Got it.
She can't even
Good job,
lead.
Junie. Junie? I think it's Junie. You got it, buddy.
Oh yeah, that's not good for me.
But you do
because it's right there with Slenderman.
Yeah, is it Slenderman? Is it the crossover universe secret lair? Is that what it is? It's a Slenderman.
That's what they need to do. Horror creatures.
So
you get Freddy and Jason in there.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'm gonna give you two little things here. It feels like it could be broken up into two initials with SH.
Soul Herder.
There you go.
Hello, boobies.
There you go. Let me get the card. There you go. That was my next
Do
thing.
a little LeBron.
Yeah. Soul Herder. But yeah, so Slenderman, or not Slenderman, Siren Head looks exactly like this dude, except for where this little head thing here is. It's like a siren, like your tornado sirens. And he goes around eating. The sirens have teeth. And let me just pull it up.
What's it from?
It's like just siren.
It's just a thing that kids now frighten themselves with.
Yes, that's exactly
like Lorena Bobbitt or something.
Images. I'll show you really quick.
Jesus.
Yeah. So Siren
Is this
Head.
for kids?
No, but the kids somehow get on there because that's kids, and but see, he's a fucking huge dude. And they have so then people like fans will make these. It's like Slenderman, where they've made videos and
wow,
yeah, it's creepy. And they've
so is this like a new what are they called? Like stories?
Oh, like the ghost story
Myths,
stuff or whatever.
or
Yeah. Oh, not
tall
like
tales.
Yeah, that Siren Head is completely made up, whereas Slenderman's real. No, I'm just kidding. But Slenderman's more of because you had those girls in Wisconsin.
The Dark Man.
Yeah. So look at that. Look at this creepy shit. So it's his mouth is all whatever. Okay. Yeah. So this was like.
I mean, it's not a moose. It just looks like you could take it out with a car. Like those legs are gone.
Yeah, but he eats people. He eats kids, bad kids. I don't know. I knew you wouldn't get this.
You put that up against the Kembe Mutombo, and he'll just take him down like fucking Mount Mutombo. Got that thing.
So yeah, that's.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
scary shit scares me. So can we put that away, please?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Let's get to this really quick before we get to our top 10. I just want to hit this up.
Let's get to this body horror image.
Secret Lair. There we go. Oh wait, no, it's a short one.
5 years we've been doing this.
Well, actually, I have the longer one. That's this one, and I forgot that I did the short one.
Secret Lair breakball.
But this one isn't.
Keep it going. This is the best part of the show.
Okay, but the thing is, this isn't really a secret lair, which I thought this whole time it was a secret lair.
You're right.
It isn't a secret lair. It's just a Beadle and Grimm's Behold New Phyrexia. So this is what is coming up. The only reason we're going to just gloss over this really quick, because they didn't do what they did last year and revealed a bunch of cool dragons, and it was really awesome and all that stuff. We have one card that we're dealing with here, but there is some other cool stuff in it. Do you want me to just go through it, or do you have it pulled up, or you want me to scroll and you just see it?
You do it.
Okay.
You're getting hot.
Damn it.
You're getting hot.
Damn it. Now it's not. Is it?
You played.
It was hot for a second.
You played the long button.
I did. Was it hot that whole time, or did it just go hot really quick?
No, it just started.
That's weird. It really just went normally when I get hot, saying the hot thing is just weird. The hot thing. Oh yeah, you guys
Have
got
it,
to
maybe.
see the whole the levels there. You see that? Look at that. That's how we keep
saw
track
it
of
all.
our levels.
That's the live.
There's the
That's
live.
what we see. That's
Yeah.
when we know.
Okay, so Beadle and Grimm's Behold New Phyrexia. Just gonna go over it really quick. It is 130. Wait, I wrote down $135 for this whole thing. What you get in this is this sweet commander deck or other deck holder. It can hold two.
It looks cool.
65 card sleeves or cards in that, and then it has a little thing for dice to be in there as well.
How many can it hold?
Two.
Hold up to 65 sleeved cards each.
There's two different spots, so it's 130 cards you can have in there. So you can have your sideboard and all that stuff. Yeah, you want to see right there? Sorry.
So this is basically for 2 standard decks. Is this for standard?
No, they said you could.
Why did they make this for commander?
No, it says it's for one commander deck or two 65 card decks in there. So it's
okay.
I wish I could see a video on how this actually looks because it looks sweet.
That looks like a mock-up. Like that shadow is fucking fake.
Yeah. I make shadows like that on our thumbnails all the time. So it's super easy to do that. So you get this is probably the key part of this whole thing. Like this, it depends on how this turns out. It also comes with Tolarian Academy book on Phyrexian stuff, I guess, the language. I have no interest in this at all, but it will sell. People will want this. You do get Mental Misstep in Phyrexian foil. I believe it is in foil. Mental Misstep. I was pretty sure this said foil, but oh yeah, there it is. Limited print red foil Phyrexian text card, which is Mental Misstep. Meh for commander. I mean, it's good card, but it's Phyrexian. This is the only magic card.
And it says counterspell. Who the fuck does that?
Yeah,
don't even play counterspell.
And then you get set of 2, so 4 of these, 10 spin downs.
D10s.
And then the
and that's why they gave you the book, right? So that you can figure out what the numbers are on that.
To be honest with you, it looks like you can see the numbers there. Like that looks like a 4, that looks like a 3, that looks like a 7. So I think this might be the only thing in Phyrexian, and then these others are actual numbers.
Okay,
I think. And then you get the card sleeves, so you get 130 sleeves for your commander deck. Cool. So they didn't just do the 60 card, which would have sucked. And that's it. Yes, that is it. Okay. So really quick, because we're not going to break this down very much. Going off of the other Beadle and Grimm's from last year, which was a home run. This is like a single out, like whatever. It's a single. Maybe that's it. It's not a home run. You just hit a single. The deck boxes from those, so
it did say in there 7,000 total sold.
Right. So there is
7. So there's only 7,000 of this.
Yep.
This is less than last year's too, right?
I think that was 10,000 for last year. Yeah. So I think it's a little bit less.
Okay.
But and you can't see it with the cameras there, and it really won't do any justice if I move that. But the deck boxes that they have with the dragon scales they are amazing. Like those, I was going to sell all but one of them. I kept all 4 of mine. I was like, nope, these are awesome. Even though I put my decks in these yellow containers, but they're really freaking sweet. If it's anything like that, those right now are going for $50 plus. This, I would say this might go for more because it depends on how this actually turns out.
Yeah,
it could go. I would say a minimum of 50. Your sleeves, the sleeves they had sleeves in the Beadle and Grimm's with the dragons, and that's going for 25 plus now for 100 of those. Mental Misstep, you're looking at 20 plus for that. That's probably going to be higher. The journal, I have no idea. I put 20, but I don't know. Like. It just depends on how many people want that, And then the life counters, the life counter with the other one with the dragon is one of the best life counter things I've ever seen. That's already over $50 at this point. I've sold mine for 70. I think these will be less. These dice, they're only 10. They're roll dice, So
Okay.
I put 50 minus because I think it's going to be under. I think it'll probably be more closer to 20 or $30. So all in all,
Okay,
you're probably only net value of this whole thing at like 145, 160, and that's before shipping and all that stuff. So basically what I'm saying is if you want this, don't buy it for selling,
Resale.
buy it for yourself. If
Right.
you want it for your collection, if you want it for your decks, sure. This is sweet, really cool deck box. Dice are kind of sweet. Mental Misstep will be interesting to see where that gets to with the limited amount of quantities out there with everything being Phyrexian and all that stuff. But I wouldn't hang your hat on this one as a really good buy.
I think that's a really good point. Like there are some people that are really into this, like Phyrexia, the language, the textures of it and everything. And if you're into that, get this.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get it now, you're going to sit back and be like, God, I wish I had this, that, and there. You might not even like all of it. But if you like that deck box or you like those dice, you're going to overpay for it on the singles market. Might as well just buy the whole thing. Maybe resell Mental Misstep if you don't care about that or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can totally see people liking this aesthetic.
Yeah.
And you should probably try and get this.
So my personal, what I'm probably going to do, I'm for sure probably getting one for myself because I want to see how this deck box thing works out. I wrote bonus, but this isn't a secret layer, so I don't think there's going to be a bonus. I don't count on a bonus with this like secret layer because that's secret layer.
Was there a bonus last year with the dragons?
Yeah, it was.
There was the Tiamat.
Tiamat. I don't think Tiamat was the bonus. I thought it was the Dragon's Horde, the mana one where you're tapping it for. I thought Tiamat was in it. One of those two cards. Whatever. There was a bonus card.
Maybe.
That.
Okay.
This don't.
I didn't even know Dragon's Horde was in there, so that's probably the special one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was what the special one was. It was the last card in there. So. This don't expect there to be a bonus. There might be. At the very most, I would buy two if I was going to do it. But I'm most likely just buying one, just because I want to see how this deck box works out. Because it doesn't seem.
I personally am not going to get this.
It makes sense. Like
I didn't get last year. I didn't get the other one either, though.
So. I was hesitant to buy the latest super drop because I was like, oh, let's wait and see what happens with this one. And then I was very, very much underwhelmed with how this one turned out and kind of very much disappointed because I thought for sure they're like, oh, it's Phyrexian. I'm like, they're doing all those new, Praetors in special art like they did with the dragons. Fuck yeah, this is going to be awesome. And then they go Mental Misstep and a deck box. And it's like, really? Like last year's was 150 and you got all those dragons, like old Gnawbone. You got all these freaking fantastic dragons and the deck box and a life counter.
I guess the thing is like last year it was a year after they had printed all of those cards, all those old dragons. And this one has been printed over a couple of years, starting in Keldheim and so like you could potentially reprint all those right away, even though like Elish Norn already has like 7 different versions from this one set.
And that might be it. But you might be onto something there because they just are printing the all of those again because you got one of them.
Right.
You got one of those in your it was the newest one, but you still got one.
I'm just like, what could they have done? I don't think they would have done all 5 Praetors together. But I do think they could have done something with like how many other times are they going to have Phyrexia and lean into the Phyrexian printing? So not only Mental Misstep, they could have done like Gut Shot, which is like the Phyrexian 1 red mana and deals 1 damage, or the green one, just do those, or the playable Phyrexian cards in Phyrexian Because how many other chances are you going to have?
Right.
And that would be how far are they going to take this? Because I feel like the story is going to end
Right.
here. In the next set.
Phyrexian's not gonna continue for the next like 5 years. We're kind of done with
Right. Well, I mean,
Phyrexian
like
writing.
I think the next set is Phyrexia as well.
Right,
March
but
of the
what I'm saying is
Machines.
like when we're done with this storyline, it's
Right.
like War of the Spark ended. You know, we don't have Nicol Bolas. They're not coming back to Phyrexian
Right.
language stuff. So it's like this was their opportunity to make that. Renshai is saying it is the only foil printing. There is only one other foil printing at 150. This one's not going to be that. But that's why I put 20 plus because your cheapest. I thought there was one other printing of it, but you're probably right on that, Renshai. But yeah, I feel like it's a missed opportunity. I agree with what you're saying. They could have had some other cards added in here and not just that one in Phyrexian. But whatever. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's not something that speculation wise necessarily go deep on. So if you were holding on to your money on this latest super drop for this, maybe you go look back at some of those other better ones. Like they could have even done the mental misstep in the Phyrexian foil. So like the little foil things, but it's just in foil. And I'm pretty sure that's how it is.
Right.
You get it. It doesn't say limited foil printing effects, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't say, the foiling, the whatever of that. So, all right. Let's go to top 10 commander cards. Yeah, we don't even need a button for that. Let me get, I'm feeling,
Mouth buttons.
11% alcohol right now. And Malort is, it's,
one more Malort shot coming up.
You want to do it right now? Oh, son of a bitch.
Or do you want to do it at 5? We can do it at 5.
5? All right, the last 5.
Let's do it midway.
It's been printed in new Phyrexia and Secret Lair is what Renshai said, by the way. Okay, so we have our 10 cards from 10 to 1, and we have ranked these for the best commander cards that we think are in this set. Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to mention, I meant to mention this to you before, and I did not do this now.
Mm.
We had talked about
I feel like our communication is lacking on this episode.
5 years. We don't need to talk anymore, Lowry.
Yes.
When we did the top 10 last time, after the podcast, we had talked about picking one as a 1 spec. Do you think you can do that one off the fly?
Did we?
Yeah, we did. But I didn't even star any one of these
Okay.
that I would actually pick up as a 1 spec. So
I can do that. Yeah.
okay. All right. So we'll do it at the end. Well, because people liked the bit. They like the 1 spec to rule them all. And so we gotta fit it in as much as we can. That's what she said. All right. So number 10.
Did she?
I don't know. She doesn't.
That's
know.
true. If you have kids, she is more like gotta fit it in when you can.
They're sleeping. Do it now. Do it now. Do I have my drum roll? Where's my? There it is. All right. Number 10. I gotta find it. Yeah, you start it. Do it. Tyvar. Sorry.
All right. Tyvar's stand is X green instant. Target creature. This is number 10, by the way. Target creature you control gets +X and gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. I think this card's really good.
Heroic intervention on a single target in a way, but then also
So you just paying
pumping
1 green for a target creature.
So you're saving a mana for 1, or pumping the shit out of that creature, and I wish it gained trample too, but still pumping the shit out of that creature, and you're giving it hexproof and indestructible. We have a lot of uncommon common cards over the last few sets or last couple of years that are like it's normally one or the other. It's like indestructible or hexproof. This gives you both and a boost to the power and everything. So it's you can use it as the offensive or defensive of somebody's destroying your creature.
Yeah, if somebody's coming in, you can just like block, give it indestructible, and it survives. Right. That's the basic stuff. You're attacking. How many times is it where like, well, I'm going to destroy that, and then you can like, well, I'm going to block and give it +X+X.
Yeah. Well, think of this.
And so
think of this. Like, it's kind of covering its basis with any of the wraths that give -X. Indestructible wouldn't help there because your creature would still die. It's -X. Now you're getting +X+X. So it's almost kind of covering its basis completely.
And I know, surprise, but this card is going to be fantastic in Calmax.
Oh, they're gonna say Blanca. Did you see? No. I was like, Blanca?
But you want to say Blanca, like, because Blanca gets trample and you can make it huge. And in Calmax, I can instant speed just double it up, like X and X. I think it's a great card. It's a great protection card. It's one of the better versions of this because we don't generally put just the singleton protections in there.
But this is
I think this is doing enough to be really, really good.
Yep. All right. Number 9. Sorry, it gives me a second to like look for it, and then I still don't have it ready to go. It is.
I can do this.
No, I was doing this one. You did the last one.
I mean, I can read the card and stuff like that. I'm prepared.
You're prepared. I
have it.
You've been doing this for 5 years.
I've been doing it for 5 years. I just got it right. I know.
I'm 40. Norn's Decree.
Oh, man.
This is I'm 40. 2 colorless and a white. It is an enchantment, and it's whenever one or more creatures an opponent controls deals combat damage to you, that opponent gets a poison counter. Whenever a player attacks, if one or more players being attacked are poisoned, the attacking player draws a card. So basically, it's almost deterring people from attacking you because they're going to get a poison counter. And now when people attack that person, those people that are attacking that person with the poison counter are going to get to draw a card. So it's going to make it so people want to go after that person. I think this is kind of fun. It doesn't have to be a poison deck. It's just a deterrent. That poison counter is just like a, hey, you're marked. Now I get to draw cards if we attack you.
Right. And I think that's the big thing is this isn't a poison deck card.
No.
Because we didn't pick a lot of that because it's niche. Like if you want to build a poison deck, you put poison cards in there. Like that's the thing. But here I agree. Like if you want to mark yourself with a poison counter, then
you're gonna
people are more likely to attack you because they want to draw cards.
Right.
Drawing cards is awesome. And so and you are more likely to attack them because you want to also draw cards. So I think it gives a great decision tree. I don't know how much is going to be played, but I really like the card in an interesting facet way.
I don't see it getting killed because it isn't that threatening. Like if it had said whenever a creature attacks or a creature your opponent attacks deals combat damage, like if it was for each creature, then maybe this one would get destroyed a little bit more, because then if you had a mob, a meat forest attacking and you get hit with 10, they kill themselves in a way. But I think this just sits out there. You cast this, no one's destroying it, it just sits there.
And long-term wise, like I think it's a good poison.
Is that why you did
deck.
this? Because Renshai said drawing cards is overrated. Is that why you
Absolutely.
did that? Okay. I thought you were doing this to like move on to the next card.
I'm on some like PCP
Renshai.
and I'm just like fucking clawing the air.
Renshai.
I don't even know if that's what PCP does, but drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad.
And but like if this does go into a like poison or toxic poison deck,
sure,
like once they're at 8 or 9, people aren't going to want to attack you.
For
like
sure.
That'll just fucking stop them.
That'd be dumb if they attacked you and you're at 9. Like what?
And more than likely, if it's not in a poison deck, they're not going to get to the point where they've hit you 10 times.
Right.
Like they're not
And you're
going to
still
put
alive.
themselves at toxic. Yeah,
Right.
that's unlikely to happen.
It's the draw part that's interesting, and that's why it jumps onto our
but
list.
I think if you're in like a proliferate deck,
Huh?
I think this could be interesting pick as well. Or
Holy crap.
so
All right, what do we got
who
here?
did that?
Bill from Woodbury can only stop in for a second. Congrats. Oh, thanks, Bill. Thank you. Garuk Dong Growth. 5 more years? Easy.
Awesome.
Easy
All right.
peasy,
Bill's coming.
buddy.
Bill's coming to
Oh,
SmithCon.
that's the last part. Yeah.
There we
Bill's
go.
making it again. SmithCon 2023. All right, here we
Just
go.
don't get COVID this time.
Yeah. Number 8. And gotta find it on our
That's
list.
me.
Yeah, that is you. Hang on.
Hold on me. All right. So it's going to be Vraska, Betrayal Sting, 4 in a black and a Phyrexian black. Planeswalker. And then it has a 6 loyalty, a 0, which is draw a card and lose a life and proliferate.
So it's actually
you can
getting
minus
1.
What's that? Yeah, so you are getting 1. Right. Or -2, target creature becomes a treasure artifact. That's it.
So it's like a
we
removal
all know
in a
what
way.
treasures do.
Yep.
And then you can -9 it. If target player has fewer than 9 poison counters, they get a number of poison counters equal to the difference. Whew.
The only problem, well, no, never mind. I was going to say the only problem with this is just with this card, you can't kill somebody, but I am wrong because the 0 ability is proliferate, adding the counters, and you kill somebody with that. So, that's brutal to get to 9. But I mean, the drawing and proliferating. So it's not only this is getting a counter. So it's right away you're getting to 7 at the very least, and you're potentially putting stuff on other things. It has removal on it. I mean, they can sack it, so it's not an Oko removal where they can't use it, but it is a removal still. Like if you're putting it on their commander, you're like, that's actually a treasure. They have to sack it. It goes to the command zone, blah, 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 and they have to recast it and all that stuff. It's still a removal spell. It just doesn't neuter the commander, but it's removal on the commander and then potentially dying from poison in itself if you're able to protect it. And if there's a doubling season, it has that effect right away. Not right away, but you know what I'm saying? Ultimate right away.
Here's a question. And this is something that we even talked about when we were creating this list with the Sphinx is when it feels like Phyrexian mana is best used this way. And it's one of those cards like if you had to pay 6 mana for this, I'd be like, nah, that's too expensive.
Right.
But
that
at
Phyrexia,
5, like the life hardly matters.
mm-hmm.
And so at 5, I kind of like this card.
Right.
And so it would be, I think it'd be really cool. And, you know, obviously they're not going to have a lot of time with Phyrexia after this point, but I think it does a really cool job of when there's a card that's on that cusp of should it be 5 or 4, and they could add in a Phyrexian mana.
Yeah.
That could be really an interesting bit right there. I think that's probably where Phyrexian mana is best used, rather in the cheap parts where it can be like broken and really like, or free spells are really, really cheap. Like put it at these mid-level creatures or permanents or spells and have it that question of, do you have the mana or are you able to cheat just a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
I think that makes it an interesting decision.
I can actually dig that. I mean, there's a lot of cards that you could that aren't really playable because of that cost, that little extra mana cost, and adding that would be a different. Now, here's the question for that. What if they made it instead of Phyrexian? What if they later sets, instead of calling it Phyrexian, it was something that was 4 life? Like that's a little bit more hard hitting, but really nerf it down. Like this one. What if it was 4 and a 4 life symbol. So not 6 in this. It'd be potentially 4 mana or 4 mana and 4 life, or 5 mana. Like, would you know what I'm saying? Like, would you pay that 4 life? Like, does that hit a little bit more, especially for commander players? Doubling that.
So if
2
we're
life.
saying like, instead of having the choice, so instead of going like 4 colorless Phyrexian black, where it could be 4 or any mix max, you're saying 4 mana and a black, or 4 mana and 4 life.
4 mana and 4 mana. Let's say it correct. 4 mana.
No.
And 4 life. So maybe let's change it. Let's eliminate.
Are you saying it just has to be?
No. Like the option. Still the option, but up it a little bit to 4 life.
Okay.
So let's X-nay that 4. And what if it was a 3?
It'd still be this, but instead of 2, it's 4.
Right. But what if you made
I think that makes it worse.
No, if you made
3
that,
man or 3 life might be a more interesting.
No, I was going to say
concept.
that 4 was a 3. So we have 3 black and life, not Phyrexian. What if it was something else? But it meant 4 mana instead of 2.
4 life instead of 2 life.
Would that make it a little bit more like, oh, fuck, that's a lot of life?
That's interesting. That's interesting as well.
Because then if you made it so it wasn't Phyrexian, if it was more of a evergreen type of thing where you're adding this life casting in, but made it a little bit more brutal than Phyrexian, I think that'd be kind of cool, like especially commander wise. And it could be more.
I definitely have to think about that a lot more, because think about, like, do I want to wait for turn 5 or like my 5 mana, or should I just run this out at 4
and lose 4
and
life?
I think the answer is just run it out at 4 mana and 4 life.
If it's early game, yes.
Like that speed. Think of like Birthing Pod, where you can pay the 2 life or 3 mana, 2 life, bring it out, 1 mana, 2 life, tap, sacrifice a creature, have that thing happen. That is generally how you want to play it. Instead of paying the 4 plus the 2 for 6 mana, you're paying 4 mana and 4 life.
Yeah.
To have that effect. So that's probably what you want to be doing anyway, but it does become more brutal. I agree.
Hey, Wizards, you should implement this.
Hire us. You can hire us. We will be consultants.
We will make it better.
If you hire me, you got to hire Adam.
There we go. If you hire me, you don't have to hire Lowry. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. We are a package deal. All right. I think you had Vraska, so I'm on number 7. This actually kind of works out because I like this bad boy. It is. Oh, I didn't spell it right.
Mercurial. Are you too American?
Venerated Rot Priest. This
what?
Is what is
did I not mix that around? All right.
What?
All right, you're right.
You're
right. I did that wrong.
What
did that wrong.
What did you think it was?
I did the other one, the next one.
Oh, no, we did this one at 7. I thought when you read back your numbers.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
This is whose line is it anyway? Points don't matter. And nobody wins.
All right, so this is 1 green
5 years.
1 green Phyrexian Druid for a 1/2 toxic 1. Remember, players dealt combat damage by this creature get a poison counter. Whenever a creature you control becomes a target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter. So the cool thing is this is like a pseudo protection for your creatures in a way, because if people target any of your creatures, you can put a poison counter, but you can target your own stuff. So like Eerie Interlude or cards, I think it was Semester's End is what we were texting about, where you're able to target your own creatures. For each one that is targeted or proliferate, if you cast a spell that has proliferate, not doing the ability proliferate because it's saying spell. So like a card that does proliferate won't do this because that's an ability, whatever. Anyways, any of those cards where you're targeting multiples, you can put all those all of those creatures that are
Right.
targeted, you can put poison counters on a player, on any opponent. It doesn't need to be spread out. You can just target one person and go after them. So again, this goes back to our, was it number 9 card or is it number 10? It was number 9 card, where this doesn't have to be in a poison deck. This adds a little bit of protection. If you're targeting your stuff, if you're protecting your stuff, this fits fantastic in there. And
Right.
it has Toxic 1. I know it's a 1/2, it's a 1 drop. It can
part.
add poison counters in itself if it came down to it. But really, you're looking at, like, Blanca's going to like this. Your Calamex deck's going to like this.
Has a really good potential, yeah.
Any of your commanders that deal with Feather would be amazing, but it's not the right colors.
Right. One thing that we got into, okay, number one, I was kind of not on board with this until we started discussing, and I had not realized that it was target, like, any
All your
creature
creatures.
you control, all of them counted for that. And so I didn't realize that. But also, like, I felt like this was a red, white, blue kind of card, but it was green. And so, like, in my Hinata deck, this would be crazy. In my Feather deck, this would be awesome. And I think it's going to be, I think I will try and fit this into Calamex.
I'm for sure putting this in Blanca.
I think it
Blanca's
has
gonna
a
be
shot.
amazing.
And so I think it's cool. It does have a potential shot to go into, like, aura decks, Enchantress decks, where you're putting a bunch of auras on a lot of
Different
creatures. It doesn't
yeah.
matter, because it'll always, when
Mhm.
you're targeting your own stuff, it is kind of, I think you might want to have some proliferate in there, or at least a whiff of poison counters in your deck.
A whiff.
A whiff or proliferate. Like, if you are building a proliferate deck, I totally can see this in there. Like, I wouldn't judge you. So,
Well, the interesting part I'll say about this card too is, if you're able to, like, if you have this in there, you have to have ways that you're also targeting your stuff. You don't want to rely on other people targeting your stuff. If you have that built into your deck, and that's why you have this in there, people are going to second guess what they're going to destroy. Are they going to go after this, or are they going to go after the main threat of your board? This doesn't seem that threatening, but if they keep going after your other things and you keep giving poison counters to that player, eventually they're going to have to target this, and they'll still get a poison counter from that. The thing is like, when you have a card that's like a Smothering Tithe type of card, where it's like, get rid of it. You got to get rid of that as soon as possible. This is not that kind of card where it's, I need this to be out of there. You're still going to keep doing what you're doing until your poison counters get to like 6 or 7. Then you're like, oh shit, that card might be problematic. We need to kind of get rid of it. Here's
on-air production idea, potentially. So years ago, we did a month-long segment. I don't even know, but it was Kill on Sight.
Oh, yes. Kill him. That's where the kill him button came in. Yes.
And so
Do I have that? Oh, I do.
Is there a spot to have a discussion about cards that straddle that line of being good but not killable, but not like bad? Because I know that I've had that discussion of, like, if you're playing cards that people don't want to kill, you're not playing cards good enough.
Build a better deck? Is that what you're trying to say?
Right. It's hashtag build a better deck.
Well, you got all these.
I would just say build a better.
You got all
deck.
these hashtags all over the place.
You know me, I'm a Twitter guy, and so, like, I wonder. I think I agree with you that it's a fun in between. It's not a kill on sight card.
But after you've gotten a couple counters on you, you start to get worried. Because think of that. If you, like, even if you have 4 4 poison counters on you, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm
gonna go to 5.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, then they go, all right, eerie interlude, target. You are dead. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. You are dead. Like unless you have split second or a removal, at that point, like
and I think obviously this is. I think this makes it into a toxic or a poison deck.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I think this makes it for sure.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's a lot better than I thought it was 4 hours ago.
Hey, it wasn't on our list 4 hours
6,
ago.
8, I don't know.
Whatever, 6 hours ago, and it made it to all the way to 7. So it was gonna not make the cut to
Lose
7.
yourself in the music. Yeah.
Oh, you want me to play you singing again? All right.
I was gonna do more singing. Yeah, Eminem.
All right, number 6. I need this to be a longer drum roll so I have time to actually type this all in. All right. Mercurial Spell Dancer. This is read. 1 in a blue. It's a 2/1. Cannot be blocked. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on Spell Dancer. And then whenever it deals damage to a player, you may remove 2 oil counters from it. If you do, when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. A lot there. Basically what it is.
Right. It's a lot.
Can't be blocked. So Eureka is going to like this card. But it's not going to really because it talks about instants and sorceries. Eureka is not built on that.
It's still unblockable.
It is unblockable.
Like for 2 mana.
Nice. But whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on it. So you get, once you have 2 of them, you can remove those once it deals damage. And your next instant or sorcery spell is copied. This is pretty sweet. And it was a surprise on the battle boxes that it was an $8 card at the time.
I hadn't even seen this card. It was $7, $8.
Yeah. Like, what?
Yeah.
Is it at right
so
now?
I think it's solid. It's cheap. Like cheap 2 to come out. 2/1 unblockable for 2. That it's a rogue, which is relevant in rogue decks. It is relevant in spell slinger decks.
Yeah.
When it comes to non-creature spells. I'm excited for this in my Calamax deck because again,
I feel like you're excited awesome for every card for Calamax.
I love Calamax. I had 3 decks at once. Did you know that? I'm down to 1 right now. I got rid of the dragon.
Can I do so I didn't pull this up on that reminiscing thing, but
I'm gonna talk about Locust God.
Yeah, you did mention Locust God in that episode. But in our first episode, so this was 1.5, the first episode, your favorite deck was Atraxa. Surprisingly.
Really?
Yes. Because yours was built on the -1/-1 counter stuff.
I don't even think I ever played it against you.
But that was your favorite. And so I called you out. I was like, I know your favorite deck's Atraxa. And you're like, well, it's changed now. And it might be Locust God. I think you settled with Locust God as your favorite deck at that point.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy to like, and I was talking about Joria for I was talking about my first deck. I don't know what I said for my favorite deck. I think I was talking about killing Animar. There were 3 decks that I talked about killing and they are no longer in existence. So
you got rid of them all.
Yeah. I did it, Lowry. I got rid of decks.
I'm proud of you.
Here's the interesting thing about this. I'm going to have to pee before we're actually like done with this podcast, especially if we're doing staple verses. Are we doing staple verses? We are doing staple verses, right?
I mean, maybe.
Okay.
We're an hour and a half right now.
How about we do? Yeah, I know. That's the part. How about we do this? We get to 5. I take a pee break and we take our shot, or we take our shot.
Yeah.
Do a pee break and
sounds right.
Get you to number 4. Okay. So that was number 7. Right? No, that was 7. No,
1,
it wasn't 7.
2, 3, 4. This is 5.
Was that? No, what was that? That was 6.
That was 6.
All right. So it was after.
Just go pee.
Go pee. Should I pull up the next one? What are you going to talk about?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll just do this card.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Let me get it up here. That's what she said.
That
is what she said. That is
Give me a little bit of time.
Give me up there. All right, there it is.
I love you, but it's been 15 years.
All right, gotta pee.
All right. Ichor Moon Gauntlet. 2 in a blue artifact. And this is one that Adam had to kind of bring up again too, because I was not on board with this at the beginning. But okay. So planeswalkers you control have 0 loyalty, proliferate, and -12, take an extra turn after this one. So that kind of adds, some on to all your planeswalkers. Great in planeswalker deck, right? And then, but there's another part to it. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose a counter on target permanent, put an additional counter of that kind on that permanent. So it's not quite proliferate for, on a 3 mana artifact, but it is like targeting, if you have like a Voltron, again, I know it's boring to just hear Calamax, but you put the 1/1 counters on Calamax, and you can continue doing that with this gauntlet here, Ikamoon Gauntlet. I think if you're, it goes great in a Planeswalker heavy deck, which helps with the first part of the card. But I think this, just that counterpart, like, I think it's going to fit into enough decks that it becomes very relevant in plenty of decks, and being cheap enough, like 3 mana is cheap to be able to fit it into something that works with your commander. So if you have something that this works with your commander or theme in your deck, I think that totally works.
Huzzah.
What do you think?
I like it.
All right, let's move on. Number 4.
It scared the shit out of Sydney when I went in the bedroom to go to the bathroom, like she was getting ready for bed, and sorry, I hit the drums too early. And I just like burst in the door. I was like, I gotta pee. She was like, holy shit. All right. Where were we on number 4? Oh wait, aren't we doing this?
You're right. All right, that's fine.
Yep.
And I'm on my last beer.
Good.
All right. Josh. I'm going to die.
I lost my cap.
I could have grabbed a shot glass when I was running back, but nope. Swigs are... So what was your take on Ikamoon? I really like this card. I think it's cool.
I think it's interesting. Yeah.
I like it a lot.
I was just saying, so I think it goes into a Planeswalker deck.
Yes.
Because they're non-creatures. But I also think if you can target if your commander has some type of token synergies, I mentioned Calamax again.
Surprise.
That I think it works. Yeah, right. It's great when you can just reference Calamax for any card that's in the colors.
It's great when you build like 15 different Calamax decks, and that's pretty much your repertoire.
Yeah, repertoire. You ready?
Yeah. All right, Josh. Thank you. Happy 5 years. Joshua. Repertoire. This
repertoire.
I didn't miss that. I did not miss that. Malort is the fucking worst.
Why?
It is the worst fucking drink.
You know what would have been great if Doji didn't send those bottles, and then I wouldn't have anything right now. It'd be great. That'd be great.
Oh, here's a request from fellow Commander Smith listeners.
Okay.
If you can send us a picture of you taking a Malort shot,
ooh,
we might do something special for you. I don't know what, because I'm just pulling
what
this
are
out
you
of my
promising here?
I'm that nothing, because I didn't say anything about what we're giving away or doing whatever. But I want to see people taking Malort shots and post it on our Twitter
we'll post it. You can bring it up as, instead of like the thumbnail of me and you and the bottle of Malort, just have a picture of them taking a shot of Malort.
The Malort episode. All we do is take Malort shots all together.
Jesus. Yeah, that's what, 10 minutes long?
or we die.
Or dead.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with your take on that one. It should be in a Planeswalker-esque deck, but could go in other things as well because of the non-creature spell proliferating pretty much, but you're picking one thing in particular.
Permanent proliferation.
Yep. All right.
Clearly this could be a keyword. They just didn't do that
yet. Oh,
yeah.
That is such a gross.
It's so bad.
It's in my mouth and it's there. All right. Next one. Number 4. I should have done the other. Oh, there it is. Clever concealment. Hey, you son of a bitch.
Hey, stop.
This is 2 colorless and 2 white instant, and it has Convoke. So you can tap creatures that'll take away one of the colorless mana. Any number of target non-land permanents you control phase out. So it's a protection spell in a way.
Right.
And we like Teferi's protection with phasing out and all that stuff. This is a way to save your stuff, and it's not just your creatures. So this is pretty sweet. You tap your 2 creatures to make this only cost you 2, and then those creatures phase out from a board wipe or whatever. I think this is going to catch a lot of play. A lot of play. And that,
a lot of play.
God damn it, my lord.
I probably, this is not as good as Teferi's protection, even though it's potentially free. Right?
Not free.
I mean, if you tap down 4 creatures, it's essentially free.
Each creature, but I thought it only reduces the 1 colorless. Or
1 mana of that creature's color.
God, what Convoke is?
Yeah, Convoke is good.
I think I've been playing Convoke wrong for 30 years at this point.
30 years.
Or I just the funny thing is I'm looking at Convoke as a potential mechanic in the mirror deck, because you're tapping things down and then you get the untap before your attack. And in my head, I was only doing the colorless because I was reading the parenthesis text, and I saw the 1 colorless. So, and I think I've been playing Benny Brax wrong. Reading. Can you hit the button, please?
Yep.
One.
My pleasure. Also,
hello, boobies.
There we go.
Is that your Malort shakes?
It's my booby shakes too. Same thing. So I guess the great thing about Teferi's protection is when you're getting your stuff off the board, you don't have to worry about losing life, right? Now, if somebody's going to Psych Rift you can protect all your stuff. That's good, and that's common enough that it happens. If you're looking to protect yourself from a wrath, that makes sense.
But if you're looking for not getting killed, because, that's the nice thing about Teferi's protection is Creator of Behemoth is coming at you and you're like, nope, Teferi's protection, I'm out. This does not save you from that.
This ain't that.
Yeah.
Because if you block and then phase them out, I don't think anything gets blocked, because it will, with trample, the trample goes through.
Yeah.
I would say. And so this is worse,
but it's really good.
But it's still pretty good against those wrath type effects.
Not even wrath. I mean, yeah, I guess wrath, destroying your artifacts, destroying your enchantments, destroying planeswalker. This removes everything but your land.
It doesn't have to be your creatures, right? If you know that you're going to have plenty of people still attack you, you don't have to phase your creatures out.
Right.
You can just, like you're saying, phase out those artifacts or enchantments. It does kind of suck that it says non-land. That'd be nice to protect your stuff against the Armageddon type card.
But if your play group has that in it, get rid of that person.
just kill them.
Get a different play group.
Kill
him.
Hey, kill him.
So I like it. I like it as a card. I like it as an option. I think it'll be interesting to play around with. And I think it's pretty powerful.
Where is this one sitting at for price wise? Whoa, get out of there, sidebar.
$8-9.
Oh wow. Fuck, I was hoping I put a star next to it being like, this is my one spec. It shouldn't be at $8-9 already, but it is one of the commander
really good
cards.
point. Yeah. This is the only one we chose from the commander sets.
No,
not true.
Norn's Decree is also from the commander. Those are the two. Okay. Number 3. It's Sword of Foo Fighters. It's the Sword of Foo Fighters.
Sword of Forge and Frontier.
Get out of there. Forge.
3 to come down, 2 to equip. +2/+2, pro red and pro green. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. You may play an additional land this turn.
So why is this so fantastic, Lowry? In those decks that don't...
Is this my fault that this is up here?
No. I'm saying, I was trying to... Your explanation of why we had this in here is the non-green decks, the ones that you're struggling with land and everything like that, get land drops and all that. That's why this one's very fantastic.
This is a green-blue card that goes great in non-green-blue decks.
Right.
If that makes sense. So if you have a deck that pulls a ton of cards into your hand, it's still a great card because you're probably going to have more land in your hand that you should, and you can play those lands. And then you also get to just like see 2 more cards. It's draw and ramp. And that's really good, even though they're both not really draw and like it's not draw, it's card advantage and ramp.
So it's kind of like the new Urabrask and how good that card is.
Paul, get out of here. Get out of here, Paul.
Just saying, like you don't like that card.
I know what you're saying, but you're wrong. That's fine. The thing is this is 2 instead of just 1. See the point there? 2's bigger than 1.
What?
Right?
What is the 2?
Right? You're exiling 2 cards.
Right.
And Urabrask is just 1.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
2's better than 1. So this is better. And
I'm just pointing out things where we're talking about things from this set, not from past sets, like.
Right. You're the one that brought it up, not me.
Yeah.
You did. You did that.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
Didn't say that either. I'm not Macaulay Culkin or his awful uncle.
Yeah, it's an uncle.
So this if you have a deck that isn't seeing enough cards, this can help out. If you have a deck that's not putting enough lands into play, or you feel like lands are getting stuck in your hand, that is less likely, but also helpful with the exiling the 2 cards, because you're seeing those 2 extra cards. It has to be that turn. And so if you end up getting 2 lands, you can play another land.
I was going to say, I would also add that this fits in landfall type decks because it is allowing that turn to have an additional land drop. So
very much agree.
So it can fit in green decks because those are the landfall decks normally. But most likely you're in colors that are lacking in something like that. So this is a...
Right. I think it's more of a lacking, or how do I get these cards into play, or how do I not run out of cards, or like if you're asking those questions in a deck, I think this can be a good consideration. And just being like pro red is relevant because of Blasphemous Act and those types of like damage.
Right.
And then green is relevant because green's played a lot.
Beast Within, all that. Like you have the removal.
Fair enough too. Yeah.
Yep.
So
I think it's it's a good addition to the swords. I think it's better than some of the recent ones we've had. Like I like this
top
more.
Half? I'd say top half.
Yep. I agree.
That could be an interesting
swords discussion.
Where would we put
swords tournament? Boo, boo,
Sword
boo,
fight.
boo.
We could call that one sword fight.
Oh, yeah. I like that. Oh, shit. Writing it down.
Oh, shit.
Sword
Notes.
fight. Star, not drunk. Read that tomorrow. Okay. All right. So we move on to number 2. It is a card that I opened up in the battle boxes, but still did not win the battle boxes. It is Mondrak Glory Dominus. 2 and 2 white for a Phyrexian Horror. It is a 4/4. Horror. If one or more tokens
I wish you could say that different.
Horror. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many is created instead. So we are having our Anointed Procession type thing or Parallel Lives type thing. But this has pay 1 mana or Phyrexian, so white or 2 life for each of those. Sacrifice 2 other artifact and or creatures. Put an indestructible counter on this. So unlike Anointed Procession, it's an enchantment. It is harder to remove because it's an enchantment. Creatures are easier to remove. But you can put indestructible onto this, which is really nice. So Anointed Procession, I think, is like a $30+ card at this point, 30 or 40. The last time I
40 plus.
Is it? Yeah. So I think I did a buy list order around that price not that long ago for a couple of them. This is that on a stick, except it can be indestructible. You know, I mean, it's a little more easier removed with exile effects, but it does give that indestructible part to it. So you got a blocker, an attacker. It's just fucking good. It's a good fucking card.
Yeah. And then like going back to that idea of like paying 4 life, I would definitely go 4 and then pay 1, pay the 4 life and the extra things to give this indestructible. As you know, I do this at 5 if I can pay the price.
Wait, say that all again.
So you're paying 4 to bring it out.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Okay. 1
and 2 white or 4 life. And I would definitely on turn 5, I would just go pay the 4, have it come out, pay 1 and 4 life, sacrifice the artifacts or creatures.
Yeah, but you do that in response to somebody destroying it. Like fizzle their spell.
No, that's a really good point too.
Fizzle their spell. You cost you 1.
Instant speed.
Yeah.
All right. I was just thinking like just 5, have it be.
You're like, don't touch my shit. Don't touch my shit. Don't even think about it. It is done. Fizzle a goddamn spell.
I don't want them looking over at me. Having them look at me is bad. But yeah, I mean, this card's good.
That's the hard thing about these top 2 cards, which I don't want to give away the next one, but they are cards we have, but these are like good renditions of those cards that we have. So the Anointed Procession of this card, except I think this is better. I would much more prefer this one compared to Anointed, because Anointed can be destroyed. Yes, we know enchantments are harder to destroy, but they can be destroyed. This is also a creature. So being indestructible, it's a blocker or an attacker as well. And you can do creature stuff effects and all that. So
being a blocker and indestructible would be huge in my mind.
Yep. So there's not much. We don't need to go dive deep on that one. But number 1.
You can do the number 1 if you want.
No, you're good. You're good. I knew you did 2 in a row, but I should have won this. But I didn't. Whoops. And then I spelled it wrong. Can't even spell. No, I got it. There it is. Boom.
No. All right. It's Mommy. Elish Norn, Mother of Machines, 4 and a white, 4/7 creature vigilance. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes the triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time.
So
it's a Panharmonicon for you. And permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger.
So
this card's crazy.
ETBs. Why did it lose? Why did it
probably shouldn't have lost. Here, this is the best way I can explain this. I'm not saying all of you are my children. I am just saying this is how the example that me and Kirsten talk about, this is a dessert. It's a sometimes food. You don't want to have this as your main meal, as in, even though it's a legend, I don't think you should be building your commander. Like, this shouldn't be a commander build. This isn't your main meal. And it's a sometimes food. Have it in some of your decks, not all of your decks, because it's going to spoil your appetite / your games.
What you're saying is it's gonna get banned. No, I'm just kidding. What you're saying is it's just gonna suck.
If people put this everywhere, it's going to suck.
But it's gonna. Panharmonicon is in every ETB deck. This is eliminating somebody else's ETB. Here's why,
the thing.
For those of you that voted for Lowry, get off of his knob, take the dick out of the mouth, because that's the only reason why you voted for 2+2 compared to this. ETBs are the way to live life, not 2+2 and -2. Bullshit.
So you know, and I know that I beat you with an alt version of Elish Norn Mom, and I only had one deck that I could potentially put it in.
Wait, what are you talking
about? When I'm looking through the decks that I currently have, which is
right
16-ish, there's only one deck that I could fit in.
Well, you don't have a lot of white decks because you don't like white decks.
Well,
I could fit this in.
That's not true. That's not true.
Every white deck that I have made, I feel like this could be in.
It's not that it could be in. I'm just saying that the only deck that really works with ETBs, like the benefit of me, I'm not looking to just
Where's my button? Where's the damn button? Where's the button? Where's the button? Where's the button? Where's the damn it? Where's the button?
Okay.
Damn it. No, I don't know.
What I'm saying is put it in a deck that's going to benefit you. Think of it more like a Panharmonicon rather than a hate card. Don't put it in every white deck because you know it's going to hate on everybody's ETB.
No, yes. Don't do it on a
Put it in your deck that is going to super enhance your deck. Not just enhance, but super enhance. Super enhance. And so
right. It can't even
That's
go
true.
in Calimax.
It can't go in Calimax. I agree. So it's not even that good. But it's probably going in my Oscar deck because.
Do you remember when this card lost the other Elish Norn?
Right, you're still bitter about that.
Yes.
How about you take another shot of Malort and mellow your palate out?
I have 11% alcohol right here. I'm pretty good.
Yeah. So that is my advice. I think it's super, super good. Just don't put it in every white
Duke
you have.
Is gonna love this card. Like
right. Duke's gonna love that. Yeah. That's gonna suck. Duke's a good deck.
Oh, Kiri's gonna love this. Oh shit, there's a lot of decks here that are gonna like this card.
Right.
Too bad I didn't get it. Oh, good for you, Lowry.
Okay, kill him.
No.
There we go.
Oh, good for you.
Good
for you.
Spoiler alert, Lowry. You got it.
No, you.
Yeah.
I am a responsible person. I'm not going to put it in every deck. And I
won't make a proxy of it
this
until
on
I get
Twitter,
it.
or not on Twitter, but TikTok.
You haven't been on Twitter in years.
This card is definitely like Rihanna halftime show with a lot of white sperm around.
That was
and then
pretty
the
funny.
Red.
That was
in the middle.
That was pretty good. I liked that. That was a good post. That was good.
I think so too.
I'll give you that. All right, that is our top 10 commander cards for Phyrexia. All will be won. We are at hour 50. Let's just do it. Let's get fucking. Let's get.
Wow. Oh, you're drunk. You're angry.
I mean, I'm already in argumentative state at this point.
I guess we're doing stable versus. This is going to be 2 hour plus extravaganza. 5
it's
years.
Our 5-year anniversary, buddy. Like,
right.
What
right.
else?
Happy Valentine's Day to anybody that forgot. Just
I don't know.
I just want that's timing.
I just it felt good to fit that in there. That's what she said. I wish she said that. All right. Where's my Staple versus button? I gotta get it. Hang on. Give me a second. I might be drunk at this point. This is what happens in 5 years. And this is what happens, Josh. You fucking got me drunk.
God. Excuse me. I believe you have my stapler.
Fight.
You hear that laugh? You hear that laugh?
Can we admit that the Mortal Kombat this song is the best soundtrack song for any movie ever? God, it's so good.
It is so good.
So good.
Yeah, it is very good. It is. And for those of you that are new, or I don't know if there's new people to the podcast or not, I feel like we have the same 900 or, well, my volume seems very low. What the fuck is going on over there?
It does.
Oh,
it does.
did. It just dropped way down.
All right.
Stupid technology. For those of you that are new to the podcast stuff, we play a lot of 90s stuff, whether it's our backgrounds of Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat.
We're old.
Yeah, it's because we're old. All right, so if you guys don't know how Staple Verse, I remember I used to explain Staple Verses a lot more because there was certain
we fight
things,
about cards. You pick which one's better.
There were certain things that needed to be explained where these haven't been staples that are along the same lines. These are kind of.
What would you rather play?
That's pretty much what.
Which one won? I won, right? Core Augur, way better.
Okay, Truth Serum. Where do you think this one ended up?
Wait, hold on. Is that what Truth Serum?
You tell
meant?
What you think.
Is that how it's always been? I thought it was just what I actually do.
What? No. What do you think? How do you think this one actually ended up? Where do you think this should have gone? You think Jin Gataxius, Core Augur beat Jin Gataxius, Progress Tyrant? Which one? The new one or the old one? Which one do you think should have won?
I personally like Core Augur better.
Okay.
But I think Progress Tyrant, yours, the Counterspell one, probably won.
Why do you think that? Because so far in our voting, Urabrask lost. Did we do? No, Sheoldred is going to be our last one. We did Elish Norn, which we just established should have won, lost. But I think that was within 2 votes. And now we are on Jin Gataxius. And you still think the old one should have won, or the new one should have won over the old one, right? That's where you're thinking.
Right.
Okay.
But I prefer the old one.
Discord agrees with you. 53% of the votes went
That's
to.
not a lot. That's not looking good for me.
That's pretty close. 53% of the votes went to Core Augur. YouTube voted, which is our biggest vote getter. 53% of the votes went for Progress Tyrant.
Okay. That just outweighs everything.
Well, not necessarily. Discord has been voting a little bit better lately. They've been jumping on the bandwagon, the Lowry bandwagon.
I was about to boo them, but that's fine.
And then Twitter went with 73% of the votes went to Progress Tyrant.
Really?
But
I knew I hated Twitter.
It was only 54% of the votes went to Progress Tyrant. So
see, I knew Twitter sucked. Their voting is down. They suck.
No, it was YouTube's that got it, but it was really close. We were within
right.
We were within 10 votes. 10 votes of everything. All right, so this week we have Vorinclex Voice of Hunger.
Motherfucker.
I like how this crown really makes me look bald. which I'm not.
No, it does not.
No, it just pulls my. Look at my hair.
King
Look at my
Adam.
Look at that. Wait,
All right.
pull my hair way back, then I can look bald.
There you go.
Look at that 15 head right there. I might be drinking.
Jude Law from
voice. What was that?
Jude Law was
Oh.
he's losing his hair, and he was in a King Arthur movie. I'm just
So
he was kind of balding as a Hollywood actor.
Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger, which is what Lowry is fighting for against Vorinclex, Monstrous Raider. Lowry,
Yeah.
why don't you tell us what your card does?
All right, I'm gonna skip the CMC this time just for posterity.
What?
It has nothing. It's
How much does it
Praetor,
cost?
7/6 trail. Doesn't matter. Whenever you tap a land from, okay, fine. It's 6 and a green and a green.
Holy shit! 8?
That's well. I mean, if
8?
you need 8 to shit, that's fine.
You
That's
should
what
be
you need
winning the
in
game.
The morning. I'm assuming. Yeah, you do. You do with Vorinclex Voice of Hunger, the old version. Can I read the rest of it?
Sorry, I apologize.
All right. Whenever you tap a land, 4 mana, add 1 mana
Hello,
to
boobies.
your mana pool for any type that land produced.
Wrong, wrong,
And-
wrong, wrong.
Did I read that wrong?
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
did not read that wrong. And whenever an opponent taps a land 4 mana, that land doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step, which is a delayed trigger. So even if they go to like tap 3, destroy that creature, all the land that you tap to do that stays tapped.
But your
That
mono rocks
happens.
don't, right? Mono
You
rocks?
you think that's a fucking argument for you? Go read yours.
So mine is 2 less. It is 4 and 2 green.
So like a regular creature.
Like a regular creature.
Okay.
But doing not regular things. It has trample and haste. So 6/6 trample haste. Phyrexian Praetor. This is dealing with everything that we are
Mine's a Phyrexia Praetor too.
I know. This is dealing with we established that last week where we looked back at the errata text and I was like, oh, son of a bitch. Okay. All right. This one is dealing with all the stuff that we're dealing with right now. You're doubling tokens. We just was it our number 2 card on the list is doubling tokens kind of type of thing?
What?
Adding
Hold on.
Wait, let me finish reading the card. Okay. So if you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice as many of those same counters on that player or permanent. Also, that'd be good by itself because we have plenty of cards that do that and they are fantastic and they're $40 cards and I mean, they're just really good cards. But
what example are you talking about?
what are you talking about? Like Primal Vigor or Parallel Lives or Anointed Procession?
This is not Parallel Lives. Parallel Lives is tokens. Those counters.
Yeah, so it's Anointed
So you're
Procession.
talking about like doubling season and
No, not
Primal
doubling.
Vigor, like you're saying.
Doubling wouldn't because doubling season includes counters as well. Doubling season's the OG of all of them because it counters like
right. So does
your
Primal
tokens.
Vigor. Then
No, is it
Vigor
Primal?
does tokens.
I thought Primal Vigor is one or the other. Doubling season is
it's
the only
both.
one. No, doubling season's the only one that does both. Like all of them.
No. Primal Vigor does both. The only problem with Primal Vigor is that it does it for everybody.
Are you sure? I don't want to pull this up because I'm
Yeah.
going to lose my stuff here. Anyways,
right.
so the
I'll
other
read it.
part of this, like that's good in itself, right? But now we're halving anybody else that's doing the same thing. Let's see. If one or more, I'm pulling up Primal
Right.
Vigor. If one or more tokens will be put.
No, I got it. I can read it.
Twice that many tokens put on that battlefield instead. If one or more 1/1 counters will be placed, but it's saying 1/1 counters. That's why doubling
You're right.
season's better because. Oh, what was that? Did you say I'm right?
No.
I'm pretty sure I just heard it. Doubling seasons.
You said you were drunk earlier too. I don't And when you
All
said
right.
that, I knew
So
that I couldn't
let's get
believe
back
you.
to the
I
second
couldn't
part of
believe
the-
you after that. That was
So
because
we could be
just
done
because I get violent towards you when I'm drunk, it doesn't mean you're not a liar when you drink. I'm just
we could be done with doubling season with Vorinclex just in that first paragraph. But the second paragraph is if an opponent will put one or more counters on a permanent or player they control,
right.
half it. You half it. So you
That's great.
eliminate it. And we're now dealing with this poison stuff that's just going crazy, and everybody's losing their fucking mind because they're like, poison needs to be changed and all this. And we did an episode on it because everybody's losing their mind about poison counters and all that. This is eliminating that, right?
Yeah.
2 turns earlier than Vorinclex?
Right. But that does not mean that every deck includes putting counters on your shit. That's the problem. So like when we're talking about Elish Norn, like it will ETBs are in every deck, no matter what, right?
What? But somehow that got voted.
That would affect.
To win.
That will always. Well, that's your fault. That's your fault.
I didn't do it.
It's clearly your fault. And
you're dripping the penis all over the place, so I don't know how to deal with that.
No,
I gotta figure out how to counteract
I think our voters are very intelligent, and I think you need to work on your debating skills. And instead of your masturbating skills.
I beat you to it. See, I got you.
And so there's counters might be in your deck, and I think that's where Vorinclex works. Yours.
There's not many counter decks.
The new one, it works.
I mean, Atraxa.
Not saying that there isn't a lot.
There
but
isn't
in
a reason that
comparison
Atraxa is the #1 commander for the last 10 years. I mean, there's no people don't play.
I think you have a very valid point
counters.
that there's plenty of decks with counters involved in them. +1, +1, -1, -1. Loyalty counters. You have plenty of counters. I agree with you on that. There just aren't as many decks as decks that have land in them, right?
This is the stupid. I knew that's what the angle you were going with.
That's the comparison. Yours has counters. Mine cares about land. Land is in every deck.
Yes,
it always matters. The old one always matters. Yours.
It matters.
Might matter.
It matters
and has
so
a
much.
Chance at mattering.
It matters so much that it's in half the amount of decks that this brand new fucking card that's only been out for 2 years is in. It matters so much
because it's so good. People feel
out of
bad.
Commander decks. It doesn't even break 1,000. It's in 314 decks because you can't build around it. It matters so much that you could actually build a Commander deck around this Vorinclex, whereas yours is always a 99. Yours can only be a 99, but only half as good. Half as good.
Half as good? Half as good?
24,000 EDH rec decks.
You build new Vorinclex. I'll build old Vorinclex. And let's see how that goes.
24,000 EDH rec decks compared to over 40,000 EDH rec decks. And this card has only been out for about 2 years. As of like right now, it's 2 years.
Okay.
2 years. And this is a 40,000 EDH rec decks. And it wasn't that expensive until now. Now it got expensive. Well, other Vorinclex has been very expensive for a long time. So,
right.
Well,
it's always been expensive.
It's always been expensive.
That's a great comparison.
Secret Lair.
Yours, the new one was just expensive up until now. Like it was fine up until now.
Secret Lair.
Mine was always expensive.
The old tanked from the Secret Lair and hasn't. The decks haven't gone up. It's only at 24,000. 314 commander decks. Like you can't even build around this. If you're building around it, you're dying before you even play the commander. That's the other part. Here's the thing.
Vorinclex, the old Vorinclex is kill on sight. It's absolutely everybody goes, how the shit do we deal with this?
Easy
and
removal.
The new Vorinclex is right, but nobody wants to have their land tapped. And so you got to make a deal like, hey, if I kill
Vorinclex is getting
make
hit
sure
in the
you
face.
don't kill my stuff.
2 turns earlier by 6/6 with haste. 6/6 haste. Yours is 2 turns later with 8 mana. You're not protecting.
You. 6/6 haste. Holy shit, that's dangerous. Nobody cares about the 6/6 haste. They don't care about it.
They don't realize that it has haste. Like I didn't realize until I was actually
matter.
doing the research.
No, it's not. They don't realize it. Is that it doesn't matter.
The other part of it is
6/6 haste trample doesn't matter.
How does yours work with the new set? Poison? How does that? Is yours or experience counters?
Oh, it's so you're jumping on the dick of toxic? Is that what's going on here?
No, experience counters. I said experience counters right before you did the dick of toxic. But we are talking about.
I would still like to be disrespectful, so mark that down.
Anything that deals with counters on players, permanents, yours doesn't deal with anything. It's just, you double your mana.
Just lands.
You double your mana. Your lands. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes. You don't double your mana rocks because I can just tap my Vorinclex or tap mana rocks. I'll just do my Path to Exile with my mana rock. Eliminate yours, and then I tap my mana like normal. It's easy. That's what happens with Vorinclex. Yours doesn't even do anything. Nothing happens. You just spot removal that bastard, and he's gone. It's all good. Mine at least swings in for 6 if we have this same scenario of spot removal. Mine at least swings in for 6. I double my mana and all that stuff.
That's the whole thing. Like
2 turns earlier.
You might affect
2
one
turns earlier.
person. You
2
might
turns earlier.
affect one person. That's all I'm saying. Is when yours comes down, it might affect somebody. When the OG Vorinclex comes down, it affects everybody.
That's funny, Wrench.
That's the difference. That's the difference.
Don't know if you know how this works. These both come down in turn 3.
True that.
But that's using mana rocks. So you're only tapping mana, 2 mana, and then a bunch of mana rocks to get rid of your Vorinclex. I don't think I have anything else.
I know you don't.
Mana rocks.
Because that's what counters.
There was a lot of negatives and a lot of positives. Planeswalker ultimates. This adds to that. We continue to add to these. Wasn't one of our Planeswalker things in the top 10? Yes.
Totally. You very much had. You've had a Planeswalker deck, right?
Yeah, Atraxa. Oh, Atraxa, the number 1 commander in what works better, Vorinclex or Vorinclex Monstrous Raider? It's funny. I call it Vorinclex. I just called yours as just Vorinclex. It's the one we've known forever.
Right.
And
it's like his name.
That could be your argument.
Yours is like the new Vorinclex. Just think of like that difference between
and look at that art.
Old Will Smith, and you're like, I like that old Will Smith.
Boring. What is going on? And what is going on over here? This is the most amazing art ever.
Did you see Gemini? Not that good.
This art for Vorinclex is fantastic.
It looks like he's taking a shit in the woods.
Well,
it's shit in the woods, Vorinclex.
What's the problem with that? I've done it before. I've talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, I have two.
All right.
At least the OG Vorinclex looks like he's standing up from the shit.
No, he's holding on because he's bracing himself. He's holding on to a tree and another
that's
tree.
True. He's definitely in Peru. Man, have you ever tried to shit in a hole? Like not in. God, that was awful.
That
all right. Okay.
Finish.
So in Peru, when me and my wife got engaged, for some reason, all of the toilet seats were ripped off of every public bathroom, and they weren't replaced. I'm not going to say they were ripped off, but they just might have sat there long enough that they broke. And they also have some spots that were just like toilets, but they were holes in the floor / ground or whatever. And I am not that flexible. And so I'm literally just fucking posting up on both walls of the stall and trying to hold myself up. And like, I can't do a squat because I'm just going to shit in my underwear at that point, like with the holes in the floor. So you
did a hover.
Right. No, I can't even hover anymore. Like at that point I was too old / fat. Like I had to just fucking post up and just hold myself there with my arms. And, that's what the OG Vorinclex. That's why I have that like connection with them. Bring it back down. Like I look at that and I'm like, that's me. So vote for me.
How many decks is he in for you?
Of course I didn't look that up. I never looked that up. That doesn't matter. It's not
No,
the amount
how
of
many decks
that it's in.
He's not in any of your decks.
I take 2 shits a day, so it's
He's
at
not in
least
any of your
104 a year. That's how many decks it's in. I mean, decks equal toilets, right?
How many decks do you have him in?
What do you mean? One. I have him in
No,
one.
you do not. I don't even
do.
I don't even have Vorinclex in a single deck.
You did.
I did when I played Bad Magic, but now I don't play Bad Magic.
It sounds like you're playing worse Magic now. I had him in Nikia All Creatures, and now I have him in Kenrith.
Lies.
How many? Because I've had the new Vorinclex, and I just don't have a deck that'd be good in.
Oh, I haven't made a proxy for you yet. You've been asking and asking and asking. I've been like, Lowry, just settle down, dude.
That's a lie.
Settle down. I
That's
have to figure out what art I need to do here. And I haven't done it yet, dude. I'm sorry. I apologize. I mean, every time we're doing proxies and we're getting these all put out there, you're just like, can I get the Vorinclex? Can I get the Vorinclex? I was like, dude.
No. I say Earthcraft. Can you get me Earthcraft proxy? Please. Get me that.
All right. We're over 2 hours. We are well over 2 hours. All right. You guys can vote for this on the Discord. You guys can vote for this on Twitter. You can vote for this on the community tab for YouTube. As soon as you hear this, yes, it should be on YouTube. As of Wednesday, it'll pop up. That should do it for this week. Thank you guys for joining on our 5-year anniversary. 5 more years. We're going to do well more
than 5.
Fuck. Josh, you got me good, buddy. I am feeling it. All right, here's another 5 years. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see ya. How do we do this? We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening.
Sega?
No, you just talked over me. Now I don't.
Wait.
Bye. 5 years.
I love boobs. I'm talking tatas. I love
Sega.
boobs. I'm bunkers for honkers. I love boobs. Thanks for the memories. I love boobs.
I see you.
No. I was trying to